Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, for the first time ever, I'm actually recording this commentary whilst not playing the game. I'm recording this separate. I did actually do some commentary over the game footage that you're seeing, but I ended up leaving the microphone a little too far away. It sounded distant, it sounded crappy. I'm also really tired, so I found that the commentary was just a bit, boring and a bit forced out. There were quiet moments. So I thought, you know what, actually, I'm gonna talk about why I'm so tired all the time and why I've not been around for some time. Just because, it might make for some interesting commentary for those of you who care. For those of you who are just looking for commentary about the game, my bad. It's the first time I've actually done this, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, a lot of you know that I haven't recorded for a good year. For the first reason for that was splitting up with my partner of 11 years. That happens. Big whoop. I'm actually a lot happier without her, to be fair. That's not to speak ill of her, but sometimes relationships get to the point where they just have to end. So that all happened. I then had to try and move house whilst trying to find a new job because I was made redundant around the same time. That made it quite difficult for me in trying to get out there, find a new job and get a house. I ended up back at my parents for about 3 months while I did that, and then I ended up with this house that I'm in now, which is a nice big 3-bedroom house. I'm in an ensuite office, which is an ensuite to my bedroom, which is freaking awesome. It's something I've always wanted, and it was great because the job that I found, I ended up starting out in a hotel, and it was just the normal 9 to 5, not Monday through Friday because it's a hotel. Obviously they're open 7 days, so it's more of a rota. Sometimes I'd be in at the weekend, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes it would be the morning shift, which was like a 7 till 3. If not, it'd be the evening, which was a 3 till 11, which always ended up being at 1 o'clock in the friggin' morning because people like to stay up and, well, get pissed. It's a hotel, they've got a bar, they want to get pissed. So being on the evening shift, you'd always end up doing more hours. And it was great. Eventually I worked my way up. I became the marketing manager for that business, as well as their other business. There's 2 businesses. There's a wine bar and a hotel. And I worked for both as the marketing manager. I got paid from both the companies, which meant I got less tax because my wage was split. I was making a good bit of money, which is why I decided to get this 3-bedroom house, which is currently shared with my brother, because he wanted to move out and experience living on his own with him being a young lad. And so I thought, why not? With him living in, we put half in each on the bills. That's even more money in my pocket. Before I know it, I had good savings. I had nearly $4,000, and I was still saving up and still saving for certain things. And then, of course, shit happens. You get made redundant, which put me in a bit of a bad spot. So I ended up applying for all kinds of jobs, and now I'm stuck doing some crappy part-time job, just selling shoes, with a contract of a minimum 16 hours and whatever overtime I can grab. So I'm working my arse off at the minute. So that's one of the reasons why I've kind of been on and off a bit. I was trying to build my life back up, after splitting with the missus after 11 years. There's a lot to rebuild, there's a lot of things to do. You've got to get back in touch with a lot of old friends and get yourself back out there, because it's the only way to really get through things like that. But also one of the reasons that I'm always so knackered is I've always been an insomniac ever since I was a teenager, because I was always interested in like extreme sports and such. I used to be a skateboarder, it was just my choice. I had a BMX, quite liked riding a BMX from time to time, but skateboarding was where it was at for me. And anybody who either currently or way back in the day who used to do that kind of stuff knows that the best time to go and do that is usually at nighttime, because a lot of the places that are the best places to go and skateboard or BMX are actually in factories, of course, because they have lots of ramps that are leading up into like the storage depots, where the lorries dock. There's ledges, there's ramps, there's rails, there's, depending on where it is, there's also steel girders, which is actually where I nearly paralysed myself actually the day I stopped. But point being, if you're into that sort of thing, that you do that sort of stuff at night. So you're out all the time, you're a teenager, you're doing all this stuff through the night, you're sleeping through the day, which of course affects schooling, which is why I'm such a retard. And I was doing that all the time, and to the point where I became an insomniac. I couldn't sleep at any other point. And ever since I was 15, I'd been locked into this 4-hour sleeping pattern, where it didn't matter what time I went to sleep, didn't matter if it was at an early, decent, reasonable, humane time, or if it was in the middle of the night. I would only sleep for 4 hours, and then I would wake up. Right, I'm now 27, So that's over a decade of this sleep pattern which is stuck. I have tried everything to break it. I have tried sleeping tablets. I've tried completely eliminating caffeine. I've tried stopping drinking after 5 o'clock in the evening to avoid, you know, having to wake up to go pee or whatever. You know, I've done everything and nothing has changed it at all. So I've just kind of like got on with it, lived with it. Even though I'm running on 4 hours a day, I still got on with it. I didn't really affect me too much until recently this year. I started to feel incredibly sluggish halfway through the workday, to the point where I thought this is affecting my work, to the point where I thought something's got to happen. So I tried some new sleeping tablets, which the first day absolutely knocked me out. I took them at 9 o'clock in the evening thinking, these ain't gonna do shit. Within 15 minutes I was falling asleep at my computer desk whilst playing a game. So I thought, alright, screw it, these are obviously pretty good tabs, I'm going to sleep. Didn't actually wake up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. That's how, because of, you know, sleep debt is a thing, you accumulate sleep debt, and sadly, it's one of the hardest things to repay, because if you oversleep, that's just as bad as undersleeping sometimes. So once you're in sleep debt, you're pretty much screwed. And it's gotten to the point where it's so bad and I'm in so much sleep debt that I've actually developed sleep apnea. So I'm now completely the opposite. Whereas before I'd go to bed, struggle to sleep, be rolling around, tossing and turning, fall asleep eventually, and then wake up 4 hours later. I'm now at the point where I sit down and that's it, I'm asleep. I've come back from work today. I've got back for about 5:30, typical time. Sat on my bed because my feet were frigging killing, because, you know, I'm flogging shoes. I'm on my feet for the entire frigging thing. But I also walk to work because I can't drive. I'd fall asleep at the wheel, and my workplace is out of town, so it's a good hour walk there, hour walk back. That adds 2 hours onto a 7-hour day that I've had today, because I'm on overtime. Usually it's just 4 hours over 4 days of 4-hour shifts, total in the 16. But I've been lucky enough to get a load of overtime, and I take any overtime I can get because I need the money. And so when you consider that, that can often take it up to a 9-10 hour day of walking and being on your feet for that entire 10 hours. Now when you've come from office work, for those of you who are used to it, you're probably thinking, well, whatever, who cares? There's army soldiers who walk friggin' miles, you know. I totally understand that, but for someone who has come from an office job and has done office jobs for so long, you feel it. You feel it in your feet, you feel it in your legs, your friggin' bones, everything, etc. So I come back from work, sat on the bed, and thought, right, I'm going to watch just maybe 1 or 2 videos on YouTube just to rest my legs, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to record. It didn't happen, I fell asleep. You know, it's now 11:45, quarter to midnight, nearly midnight, and I've been awake for maybe an hour because I fell asleep. And this developed before I got this new job, so it's not just because I'm completely wasted because of this job. You know, it started before that, but obviously doing this job doesn't help. But that's sleep apnea, and what's essentially happening is I go to sleep, and before I hit the deep sleep, which is the good sleep that you obviously need to rest and recuperate, I basically die. I stop breathing in my sleep, and that's what causes you to wake up, because your brain's thinking, what the hell's going on? You know, wake up, get up, there's something wrong. So you're waking up, and you literally wake up every single hour of your sleep. And then there's the added thing of every time you wake up, you need to go pee, because it's normal. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you need to do is go pee because you've been asleep, and that's happening every hour on the hour. You'd want to go for a wee every hour on the hour as you wake up. So I'm also incredibly dehydrated, and I'm just tanking pints of water every day, and by the time I get up the next morning, I'm just dehydrated again. I'm not going to say how I know, but you know, we all look at the colour of our urine to know how dehydrated we are, and let's not go into detail with that. So it can have quite a lot of negative implications from this one thing. And I'm at the point now where I can't do much. You know, I'm not allowed to work in a factory because it's operating machinery. I'm not allowed to drive. There's been times where I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator and I've fallen asleep and woke up because I've smashed into a guardrail at 87 mile a friggin' hour with an 18-ton trailer. It's not good, you know. It's really quite bad. I actually felt better being stuck on 4-hour sleeps as an insomniac rather than this. This is crap, to be honest. It's horrible. And that's why I'm always tired and I'm falling asleep. So if I'm falling asleep when I get back from work and waking up at near midnight, I'm absolutely knackered. I've then got to try and force myself to try and get back to sleep again, otherwise I'll be falling asleep by the time I get to work the next morning. It doesn't leave me a lot of time to record, and so it has affected my recording as well, but also my enthusiasm to record and the things that I say, which is why this video you're watching now is just... I didn't know what to say in the commentary because I was too tired, but at the same time I need something to focus on. So I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to scrap the video, I'm just going to record this commentary over the top, sort of explain my situation. For those of you who care, I know not everybody cares, most of you just here for the gameplay, and that's cool, you know, that's what YouTube's all about. Not here for people's sub-stories, but really I just wanted to kind of go through it and see how many of you actually have sleep problems. Is there any of you out there as well that suffer from insomnia or the sleep apnea that I have, or is there anything that you've done that you found helped you get better sleep, you know, just that kind of thing, just to see what you guys think, because we all have different medical conditions, we all go through different kinds of crap in our day, we've all got our own rubbish to deal with, so there's got to be someone out there who's kind of had a similar thing. So it's just really just thought I'd do this, kind of explain my situation a bit, and as boring as it may be. But yeah, that's my situation. I've now got another 4 minutes of time to try and kill. I think I'll sing you a song for those 4 minutes. So no, I'm just kidding. I can't sing for crap. But yeah, I recorded this video. I did some commentary over the top. And I screwed up straight away anyway because the microphone I left on top of my computer, so it sounded a bit distant, but also it was picking up the fan noise because, you know, it's right next to the PC fan, so it was just crap. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this commentary through Audacity, I'll throw it over the top of the video, see what you guys think, and go from there. Also, I wanted to ask if you guys had any game ideas. Obviously, I'm into the Sandbox buildy crafty stuff, and there's a lot out there, and I've got a lot of them. But if you guys are aware of any other ones that I may not know of, I would love to hear about them, because I am looking for some new games to play and new games to do some recording on. And I love Sandbox stuff. I don't know what it is about the Sandbox survival stuff. I just love it. I think it's the creativity, being able to completely sort of escape the world to your imagination kind of thing, being able to build cool things whilst still playing a game and doing the usual combat stuff. I just find that there's more to do. They keep my attention longer than most of the games. I mean, I used to be more into RPGs and playing things like that, you know. I absolutely love the Gothic series. I've been around in the Elder Scrolls series since Daggerfall. Morrowind still remains the best in my opinion, but that's just me. And I used to be just addicted to RPGs, and slowly over the years I've kind of shifted to the Sandbox. I've always remained interested in strategy games, you know. I've always played Age of Empires, Empire Earth's a good classic, Rise of Nations, that kind of stuff, but I have to be in the mood for that. I really have to be in the mood to just sort of kick back and chill and play that kind of thing, whereas Sandbox stuff I can just sink my life into, as evident by Minecraft and all the building tutorials that I've chucked together. I'm going to have to see if I can make a building on Minecraft at some point, just to keep the Minecraft content going as well. But do you guys, if any of you guys played Dark Out, by the way, because it's on sale at the minute on Steam for like £2.50, but the ratings at the minute are listed as very negative, so I'm kind of not sure. I mean, £2.50 is not a lot of money to chuck away, but you know, at the same time I'm kind of thinking if it's very negative, that's got to be pretty rubbish. So I just wondered if you guys had any opinion on that game. If you could let me know by the time the sale finishes, that would be awesome. Also, I have a few spare keys on Steam for a game called, I think it was Windborne, and also one called Defense Grid. Apparently the game Windborne, they didn't get the funding they needed, so they gave out a bunch of free keys, and I've had them in my Steam account for a while, so I may give them out. I don't know if I'll make a video or a competition, or if I'll just give them to people who I know are active commenters. I don't know yet, but I want to get rid of them. So if you want to look me up on Steam, it's Lord Dan, my usual Minecraft little face, and my name has the little TM trademarky bit after it. So if you want to add me on Steam, just do that and just tell me you've come from a channel, and I know where you are, and I'll just gift any spare keys I've got out, because I want to get rid of them. I've had them for years now. It's about time I chuck them away. I mean, Windborne is another voxel crafting game. I haven't played it for a long time. I couldn't give you much of an opinion about how far it's come, but it is of that type. So if you're interested in that, hit me up and I'll send you a copy. that time I got rid of it. Anyway, there's only 1 more minute left for this video, so I'm going to cut the recording here and just leave this last minute. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to me drivel on about this rubbish, and I shall see you in the next video. See you later.